And today's class is called Introduction to Balloon Twisting. It's a balloon twisting 101. If you want to learn a new art form and you have no idea where to start, this is the perfect class for you. So stay tuned and you're gonna learn all the basics to get you started. The first thing we're going to talk about are the brands of the balloons that you can buy. The two brands that I use are the Talitex and Qualitex. Now, these two brands are professional, they're really good quality, and whichever you use, you're gonna be fine. When you buy balloons, you're going to notice that in front of the name of the color of the balloon, you're gonna find a number, 260, 160, 350. So what these numbers mean is the following. When a balloon says it's a 260, that means that the thickness is 2 inches, and the 60 means that the length when you fully inflate the balloon is gonna be 60 inches. So that's what the number means. Now for balloon twisting, the balloon that you're gonna use the most and the one that you need to buy to start with is the 260 balloons. This is the main balloon that you are going to use. The other sizes that you might find around are 160. As you can see, it's only 1 inch of thickness and 60 inches when you fully inflate it. These are great to do small details, or if you want to do a design cuter, like in a smaller size, okay? The other size we have is the 350. 3 inches of thickness, 50 inches long, and these are perfect if you want to do something a little bit bigger or add bigger details. Another size that we have is this big one, is the 646, meaning 6 inches of thickness and then 46 inches long. These are harder to work with because, as you can see, when you need to pinch and twist, it's a lot harder, so you need a lot of practice. I don't use this size that often. I think I really used it for one time, but the one that you're gonna use the most are the 260s, okay? So do not forget that when you're going to buy your first bag of balloons, you can buy one of those that have different colors, but make sure they're the 260. Other things that you're gonna need besides balloons is going to be the pump. There's different type of pumps. The first one that I started with is the manual pump. Something like this. It's Qualitex as well, very good quality. This lasts a long time and they're really cheap. So when I first started, you start with one of this, and this inflate the 260. If you have the 160, remember the ones that are thinner, you're gonna need a special pump that is thinner and it will fit perfectly the 160. So these two pumps are the ones that I always have with me to inflate the 260 and the 160. These ones also inflate the 350, like the ones that are a little bit thicker. So these are the Magna Pumps, the cheapest one, and I think this is what you need to buy at the beginning. Once you start doing balloon twisting, and this is something that you want to do professionally and that you really like, and you are trying to find another type of pump, there is another type of pump that is called the floor pump. The one that I bought is the filbert pump, and I absolutely love that pump. It is around 33 inches tall. So is this. This black bag is something that I bought in another side, and I attach it to my filbert pump and I put balloons in here. But I'm gonna show you in another video. I will show you exactly what this bag is. But the good thing about the filbert is that you put it on the floor and you have to put this all the way up. Now when you put a balloon at 260 in it, you're able to inflate that balloon in one pump. You just have to push all the way down and that balloon will inflate, okay? So this filbert pump is really good. Lately I have been using it a lot. I always have it in my car, and then it is really quick to inflate the 260. The other pumps that you have are the electric pumps, the battery operated. I have this one that is really small, it's very portable. I think it's called C60. This one's inflated 260, but also you can inflate the 160, the really thin ones within. and I really like it. Sometimes, like, if I have the filbert pump with my balloons in here, we just use the filbert pump. But if I'm using my balloon apron, then I would normally have this next to me to use it. It does make a noise, but when you're in a party or a big event and there's a lot of people, you normally won't hear it as much. And you just have to put the balloon here and press down, and it will inflate it. Okay, I can show you how it works. It's really easy and it's portable. You just have to make sure you charge it. And I think I did a gig that was like 5 hours long, and it lasted me the whole time. So you put the balloon in and you press down. As you can see, it does take a little bit longer to inflate than the filbert pump, the floor pump, but you know, it is up to you what you want to have. Again, to start, these 2 pumps is all you need, and it's the perfect pumps, that good quality, and it will do the job. Other things that you're going to use besides the balloons and the pumps are going to be the balloon cutters. These ones you put it on, like on the hips on your pants, and you can use it to cut all those the excess of the balloon or whatever balloon you don't need anymore. If you don't have one of this, a scissor will work as fine. The other thing we use are Sharpies. The colors that I use mostly is black, red, a pink fuchsia, and a blue. Also, I found this black Sharpie retractable. So when you are twisting a balloon and you want to draw something, it's easier to just have to press to draw than having to take the cap off and on and all those things, right? Also, very important, a white paint marker. This one is Edding 750, and you have to shake it really well, press it on the balloon, and it will release the paint. It takes a little bit longer to dry, but this one, it has been the best one I have used. In all the arts and crafts stores, you might use another, like they have Sharpie paint markers, also works really well, okay? So, these are the main things that you need when you are starting to do balloon twisting. So what we're gonna do next is we're gonna review the basic twists that you need to learn and practice to do the basic balloon designs. There are many tips, basic like twists, but these basic ones that we're gonna review are the ones that you need to learn right at the beginning. So stay tuned and we're gonna review them now. What we're gonna do now, we're gonna learn about the different twists that we're gonna use in balloon twisting. The first one, really easy, the segment. Segment is when you need a balloon and you, for example, I'm gonna do a 4-finger segment, and then I'm gonna press the balloon and twist it, just like this. This is a segment. You can do smaller segments, just like this, or you do bigger segments like this. It all depends on what you need to do for the design. So when you hear a 4-finger segment, a 3-finger segment, a 1-hand segment, that's what it means. The other twist that it is really important are the bubbles. Now the trick with the bubbles and with any twist that you do is that you are constant to what direction you are twisting. So if you twist, I twist with my right hand, if you twist to the outside like this, you need to make sure that all your twists, you twist that direction. If you twist the opposite way, all of your twists need to go that way, so they won't come undone. Bubbles, main trick. When you do a bubble, it can be small bubbles, it could be even smaller bubbles, it could be bigger bubbles depending on what you need. If you have to do a series of bubbles, the trick is that never let go of the first bubble you do. I'm gonna show you. I do my first bubble. I grab it with my left hand, and that one is not going anywhere. I'm going to be doing all of the other ones, and before you do anything, make sure you're squishing the balloon so it's a little bit softer and it won't pop, or it has less chances of popping. So we're gonna do a series of bubbles just like this. And as you can see, the first bubble is here. As long as you don't let that bubble go anywhere, you can add how many bubbles you want and they won't come undone. Now look what happens when you let go of that first bubble. That's what happens. So the trick is always keep your hand here until you are going ready with all the series of bubbles. And if you twist it, for example, here, then you have them and they won't come undone, okay? The other twist that it is really important is called the pinch twist. Let me just use the same balloon. The pinch twist, you have to do a bubble first and then you're gonna twist it, like pinch twist it. So this is what it looks like. You're gonna do a bubble, right? With my left hand, I'm going to grab the nozzle and the rest of the balloon. And here I'm going to pull. The secret is to pull, and twist. And what you do is you create a little mini ear, okay? Now, when you need to do the second one, for example, if you're doing a princess neck, when you do the next bubble, with my left hand, I grab the first pinch twist and the rest of the balloon. And with the other hand, I'm gonna pull to the outside and then you twist. Okay, and this is how we do pinch twist. Okay, you're gonna be using pistons in a lot of designs, so this is something that you need to practice a lot. I know at the beginning I was always afraid that it was going to pop when I would pinch twist it, but really it won't. I mean, it will happen sometimes, but it's not. As long as your bubble you squish it and it's not a super hard bubble, it won't pop, okay? So the other type of twist that we're gonna do are the loop twist, or the ears, however you want to call it. And this one, we grab the balloon from the nozzle, and it could be a 4-finger, you could do smaller, a 3-finger, you could do bigger, like more than a hand size, okay? But the important part is that when you twist that ear, okay, if it's the first one that you twist, the nozzle, you need to pull it through the balloon to the other side. So that way it won't become undone. We use this a lot for princesses dresses, for flower petals, and other designs. So this one is also very important. You can do bigger loops. You can do smaller petals, just like this, or little ears. So this one is also one that you need to practice. The last one that we're gonna be doing, the basic twist that we're gonna be learning, is the swirly twist. That's how I call it. It's kind of like when you spiral the balloon. If you're doing with one color, you would just grab it like this, and then you're gonna pass this one side of the balloon to the front, and then you grab it here and goes to the back. Now this other balloon kind of stays in place, and this is the one that the other balloon is the one that we spiral. We go to the front, we go to the back, we go to the front, we go to the back, we go to the front and back, and so on, okay? See? So this is like the spiral, the swirly. Now, you can do it like really tight, you can do it a little bit looser, depending on what you need. At the beginning, I used to put it between my knees, and then I would kind of like spiral with my 2 hands until I was able to do it just like regularly how I just showed you, okay? So, these are all the basic twists that we're going to start practicing. And what we're gonna do now is that we're gonna grab all these components, we're gonna put them together in the first basic balloon design. So we're gonna do the dog, the flower, the sword, and the ones that are very useful for birthday parties. So stay tuned and we're gonna do those right now. We're gonna get a 260 in white and we're gonna inflate it. We're going to leave around 4 or 5 finger tail at the end. Before you tie it, make sure you burp the balloon or let go a little bit of the air so it's nice and soft. Not too soft, but you want it to not be too hard. We're gonna do the dog. We're gonna start with the head of the dog, and you're gonna do a segment, like a 3-finger segment. We're gonna do the ears, and it's 2 segments as well, like 3 or 4 finger long. The dog is all about the segments. That was the first twist that we learned how to do. We're gonna do the neck. You're gonna twist, and we have another 3-finger segment, and now we're gonna be doing the legs of the dog. You're gonna need 2, one going down, then we go up, and you twist that to the neck. Just like that, a few times. We're gonna do the torso, another segment, and we're gonna do the back legs. Again, we go down and we go up and we twist to the torso. The rest of the balloon is gonna be the tail, but before we do the little tail, we're gonna feed it through the loop or the ear that we have there of the back legs, and that way it's not gonna come undone. And then we're gonna try and put a little bit of air to the end of the tail. I'm gonna be making another video on how to do this properly for other type of designs. So there you go, you have the dog all balloon segments. That was the first twist that we learned how to do. Next, we're gonna do a pirate sword. I'm grabbing a dark blue 260, and I'm going to inflate it more because there's not that many twists here, so you're gonna leave a smaller tail, like a 3-finger tail. Do you see how I measure there? Let go a little bit of the air before you tie it, and then we're gonna start with 1 bubble. You're gonna twist the bubble a few times. We're gonna do a loop around 4-finger size. You're gonna twist it, and what we're gonna do, we're gonna fit the whole balloon through there so the sword doesn't come undone. Kids love playing with the swords, so this way we're gonna try and make sure that it lasts longer. We're gonna do a series of bubbles. Now remember, the trick is that do not let go of the first bubble. If you let go of that bubble, all of the other ones are gonna come undone as well. And also remember to squeeze the balloon before you do the twist. That way the balloon is not too hard and it won't pop on you. As you can see, we made, I think, 3 or 4 bubbles. We're gonna fit the rest of the balloon through. And there we go, we're gonna have the pirate sword. Super easy, and all kids love this. The next balloon we're going to make is the flower. And for the flower, all we're gonna be doing are the petals, the loop twist that we learned before. We're gonna tie in, and we're gonna do the first loop around 4 fingers. Yeah. And I used my fingers to make sure all of the petals are going to be the same size. Now we grab the nozzle and we feed it through just like how I was saying before to make sure it doesn't come undone. Now we're gonna do more petals just like that. Before I twist it, I always put my fingers to make sure it's the same size or close to the same size, and then I twist. We're gonna repeat this until we have 5 or 6 petals depending on how many petals you want in your flower. In this case, we're gonna do 5. I do the 3rd petal and I'm gonna twist it around so it won't come undone. I do the 4th and it twisted around, and we're gonna do a last one, the 5th one. The same, I measure it before I twist it. I'm going to organize one next to each other to make sure I give it the shape of a flower. With the remaining of the balloon, I'm just going to cut it and tie it. Normally this tool, I have it on my hip, so it's easier to use than when you grab it on your hand. If you have a scissor, it will work as well. I'm gonna cut the balloon and tie it to make sure it doesn't lose any air. And next we're going to inflate a green 260 to do the center of the balloon and the remaining of the flower. I'm gonna let go of the air, tie in. We're gonna do I'm stretching it out there. We're gonna do a bubble, a bigger bubble, so the center, like the bigger the bubble, you know, it's gonna be, the center is gonna be bigger of the flower. I'm gonna pinch twist that. Here we're practicing our pinch twist. and that's going to go in the middle of our flower. I'm gonna place it in front of it, and with the remaining of the balloon, I'm gonna go around the petal like 2 or 3 times. There we go. Now in the back. So to make sure the green balloon goes down, I'm gonna make a bubble. And the second bubble I'm going to pinch twist it. I grab the balloon with my left hand, the right hand I pull and I twist. And that way the balloon just went the other way, it just goes down. This is the stem of the flower. We're gonna do 2 petals, like 3 finger petals, 1 in each side. And the remaining is gonna be the stem. You can leave it like this, or you can measure it however you want and cut the rest of the balloon. I'm gonna cut and then I'm gonna tie it. And just make sure you cut the excess of the balloon so it doesn't look too ugly. I'm trying to use that there. There we go. Okay, here we go. A beautiful flower. The next one that we're gonna do the one. This one is really good for the birthday parties. It's quick, and you can use any 5-inch round balloon on top, printed. I'm gonna use 2 colors in this case. I'm gonna use a red 260. I'm inflating it. I leave a lot of tail. I'm going to tie it, and then we're gonna grab a light blue one. In this case, I forgot here that the bag was closed, so I had to open it, so I'm taking a little bit longer. But once I get it, it's a pale, like a baby blue, pale blue, 260, and it's not wanting to get inflated. I'm going to inflate this one just like the red one, leaving a good amount of tail at the end. I'm going to let go of the air, tie it. I'm going to put the 2 balloons together, and I'm going to twist them, making 2 little bubbles. I'm going to grab one of the bubbles, and I'm going to turn it around the balloon just to make sure it stays in place and it doesn't come undone. We're going to do the Sural Twist, the other one that we were practicing before. One balloon, the blue in this case, is the one that is going to the front and to the back. You're going to measure how long you want to do this. And then with the remaining of the balloon, we're going to do 2 loops, like 3-4 fingers. We're going to do 1 in each color. And then now what we're going to do with the red, we're going to do a bubble, and we're going to pinch twist that to make sure the petals, like the loops that we just did, don't come undone. I'm pulling and twisting. We're going to do the same with the blue color. You're going to do a small bubble, like a 1-inch bubble. You're going to grab the balloon, you're going to pull the bubble and twist it. Now the idea is that you're going to have 1 pinch twist in each side and the loops on the side, just like that. And this is where we're going to tie the print balloon that we're going to use. The ones are perfect because there are so many print balloons with different characters. In this one, I'm using the little mouse. There we go. I inflated. These are 5-inch round. I'm gonna tie it, and I'm going to twist this around those 2 pinch twists. Gonna go around a few times to make sure it doesn't come off. And now the remaining of the red or the blue, we could leave it like this, but in this case, I'm just going to break it. I'm gonna cut it off, and then I'm going to tie them. There we go. We're gonna tie them together. You could cut the excess or just twist it around the balloon. And here we go. We have the magic wand. Now you can leave it like that, right, if you're in a hurry, but if we have the time to hide those nozzles, you're gonna pinch twist them. You're gonna grab the nozzle and pinch twist it, and the other one as well. And there you go. As you can see, we just did all of the basic twists and we did our first balloon designs. I hope you like the class and you find it useful. If you have any question, don't hesitate. You can email me at vanessa@partyallure.com and I can answer the questions and help you in whatever you need. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of the videos that I'm going to be posting. Thank you, bye!